Hi, my name is Nienke Brinkman, and I've been trail running for 4 months.
And Nienke Brinkman from the Netherlands takes an incredible second place here in Seattle.
Nienke Brinkman confirms and wins a Chiemgau trail run here in Germany.
And she does it again! Even on the technical course, Nienke Brinkman takes the win after Skaren and is now sitting in second.
This is really a dream of mine. I have been dreaming to become a professional in sports all my life, and to really find a way to actually go there in this direction is really great for me.
I still haven't got my head around Nienke. Maud is so good. If you look at her performances and the way she just dismantled course records that have been there for years, and that's taken her 8 years to reach that level. So for someone to come in their first season, to come second at Hierro now, the biggest trail race in the world, and then her next race is to win by the distance that she has. This doesn't happen in trail racing.
Alors, quand j'ai vu qu'elle gagnait, qu'elle avait gagné la course après, Chiemgau, mais après je suivais les lives et puis j'étais, si elle gagne, eh ben on a presque les mêmes points, donc ça va être difficile.
Nienke arrived in Seattle as a shooting star, finished second behind Maud. Nobody knew who was this super strong girl. She arrived in Chiemgau, she won the race. Skaren, she won the race, and with such a gap that it will be interesting to see how she is now against Maud.
The final's got 100,000 euros on offer, with the winners taking home 10,000 each. The next 4 places then get 6,000, next 5 get 3,000, and if you're 11th, you're only getting 1,000 each. So, yeah, you're not buying the drinks that night. When you come to the final, you want to be in your zone, and you want to make sure that you block out the whole world and you can focus on you performing. And who does Bart get as his roommate? Stian. The one person he doesn't want to think about. That room is coming home with 16,000 euros. But they don't know which bed is the 10,000.
Podziwiam Stiana za to, że jest taki przyjacielski, zawsze uśmiechnięty, zawsze mi pomaga i imponuje mi tym, że dąży do celu, jest zawzięty i potrafi ten cel osiągnąć.
Bart, he's a very good friend, and I told him if I don't win, I hope we win. And so, as you said, I think it's a healthy rivalry. And before this race, I had 50 points. So I knew before the race, if he win, then I need to finish number 3.
Stian's performances this season, I think, have been even surprising to himself. He's always had talent, he's done well, but for quite a few seasons, he's not even reached the podium, let alone to come in and to win 3 races in a row, nearly unchallenged. It should be, in theory, Stian all the way, but actually Bart, his season, he's had a lot of bad luck. He came in as the champion, and he's had to deal with altitude, he's had to deal with food poisoning, and he's won a race, but he's never looked like the Bart that we all know who he is, that he knows he is. And while Stian is definitely the better runner right now, Bart is still in there, and Bart is nowhere near at his best, but he could be, and he's showing glimmers of that, and that's what's exciting, because I think they both know that even though Stian is the favourite, Bart could still win this whole thing.
Last time, last one.
My dad has never seen me mountain race before. Neither has my little brother. So yeah, I was just really grateful that they're able to come out here. A lot of, if I was a different American, maybe their family couldn't have come, but my family has always been that way, that they're just gonna make it happen even if it's a short trip and takes them forever. So they're gonna crew me in the aid stations, which is pretty cool. I've never had a crew for any of my races in my entire life. So this is really exciting. Hopefully they don't mess up and get too nervous. But I've given them a lot of messaging, and we're gonna have a team meeting tonight, which is probably gonna be my parents asking a lot of questions. This course is pretty wild in the sense that you read the elevation gain, and then once you actually run it, you realize that most of that gain is in only 5 to 6 miles. So that's crazy.
And the final event of the series is about to start. The women's are lined up and they will start 30 minutes before the men's. The final of the Golden Trail Series is on!
It is indeed, Martin. The one race in Hierro is the course of choice for the final. It's 37 kilometers with 2,800.
The one race at Hierro!
For me, trail running is quite new actually. And of course, for me, it's very new to come here, to go to every races of the Golden Trail Series, and I like this feeling of new things. For example, here, I'm not even sure how I will manage.
Benvenido a la casa!
So the ranking is really tight now. Fred and Jan Margaret on the same position. The 11th point is not far away, and knowing the fact that the points are being doubled in the finals makes it even more interesting, and I'm curious to see where Fred will end up in the rankings.
I know the final count double, so I know the ranking can change a lot. I still believe I can climb some places because it's quite tight, but I'm not the only one, and all the others, they will try their best, so it will be such a challenge. I think it will be epic race.
And now on to the men's race. They're all lined up and ready to go. The nerves are kicking in. It's the last race of the season and everything could happen today.
Here we go, the final is on, and don't get fooled by these early smiles. They all know they will hit the pancake pretty hard today.
Leaders on that first climb are Francesco Papi, running from Nike Trail, followed by Stian Angermund and Remy Bonnet.
And in the chasing group, we have Bart, Elusine Lazaoui, and Fred Tranchant. The three of them decided the pace in the lead was a bit too fast, so they just stayed back.
Here's Thibaut Varignan in 7th and Anthony Felber, Team Matrix, in 8th. Who needs to score big points today if he wants to finish in the top 10 overall.
So the first uphill, I was mainly running with Maud, and but I was focused on my heart rate, and I felt really good.
J'arrivais pas à la suivre. Je me suis dit ouf, ça va être difficile aujourd'hui, je pense. Mais afin de garder la motivation, je me disais on n'est qu'à la première montée et puis il y a encore tout le reste derrière, donc tout peut changer. Il faut pas commencer à se dire oh non c'est bon, je vais faire deuxième.
And we have Anaïs Sabrier, Team Matrix, is currently sitting 3rd.
Yes, and Hoka runner Danny Moreno is chasing the leaders, currently sitting in 6th.
And here's Elise Poncet, the other Team Matrix athlete in this final.
Yeah, and after her amazing performance...
The race was a lot about strategy for me. It was about letting them go and just believing in myself and in my strategy and thinking that later in the race I will catch them. Sometimes starting a race on the back can allow you to finish farther.
When we arrived at the top, I think a bit further after the top, I fell. Really stupid fall because it was not technical or steep. It was just a root of a tree, and I fell over this. And then I think I lost a little bit focus. And then at this, or a little bit afterwards, Maud overtook me, and that was the start of the downhill, the really steep one. And then she took a lot of time on me. She was really fast, and I didn't see her anymore.
And check this out, this is the fastest I've seen Maud Mathies run downhill.
Yeah, she's pedaled to the metal and even passed Nienke to take the lead.
And here she is, Nienke, trying not to lose too much ground until the road section.
Yes, that's where she'll be able to put her road running strides to good use.
And in the kind of not technical downhill or the fast downhill, there I was holding back a little bit just to save my legs. And Francesco get a small gap now and then, but in the technical sections we were catching up with him. Now after the more runnable part, then we go down to the more technical part, and there I was in front, and I think we got a gap on Francisco. But I'm not sure, like I was focusing on running down, so I didn't look back.
The first downhill, as expected, Stian used his technical skill. Remy was holding on for his dear life. It almost felt like he was looking behind thinking, when are the runners coming to stampede over me? But he held on. He's running better than he's run on downhills so far this season. And actually by the bottom of the first hill, they were all still pretty close. And that's unexpected.
And Sarah Alonso and Danny Moreno are neck to neck, currently fighting for the 5th position right now.
Yeah, and I'd say besides the fight for the position, this is a mental battle here, as in my opinion, this is still a bit too early in the race to be pushing so hard.
Yeah, definitely. I love that girl because she definitely, she's Sarah, anyone that knows Sarah. And she definitely, the last 2 races, she's like been bringing out like a more aggressive racer in me, so like I really respect her like as a racer, and somehow she like always has another trick in her bag. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I would love to beat Sarah, and I know she would love to beat me, or I hope that she would love to beat me too, because I feel like we have this, but she has gotten me the last couple times and I got her the first time, so it'd be nice to kind of even the score there. So yeah, it'd be fun to beat Sarah, and it would just be fun to try and place as high as I can. But I mean, these women are really strong.
Come on. There. Go. Come on, Sarah. Come on, Noya. Go. Come on. Good job. Wonderful. Come on.
Then the uphill came, and Maud took control. Until that point, in almost the whole season, we weren't sure who's the stronger runner. But Maud made sure there was no mistaking what was happening. When you have a final, you want to show, but you want to test the athletes to their absolute limit. And boy, did they do that.
The heat was really cranking up, and then as the climb got higher and higher, I got really tired and I bonked really hard.
Someone told me that it was like 37 degrees. This is definitely the warmest and most intense race I ever done.
This last uphill was terrible. It felt so long. We did recognize them a couple of days before, and it felt much easier. And I thought, it's not too hard, and I will make it to the top quite quickly. But it was so tough. I was struggling so much to get to the top.
People were coming in, collapsing, just bewildered by what was happening, but knowing they still had to attack and they still had half a race. But that heat was brutal. I was just over the top of the second climb at the aid station, and it was like a scene from Vietnam. And having seen Maud come through, looking beautiful, Nienke, cool and collected, I just couldn't have predicted what was going to happen behind them. People were throwing water over themselves, forgetting their bottles, just confused by what was happening because they were so dehydrated. Sarah was sinking because she couldn't deal with the heat. And by the halfway stage, so many racers were out.
j'ai fait la course toute seule. Je savais que les hommes pouvaient peut-être m'attraper. J'espérais pas. Et Ninke, j'ai jamais revu, donc j'ai fait la course seule.
I cannot think of a moment that I really went for it. I don't know, I felt really a bit empty, so I was afraid that I would really bonk very hard. So I really thought I cannot push harder. I don't know. In this, maybe it was the heat, maybe it was the fall, maybe it was not my distance. I don't know, or the course, but there was something that I was already at my max, I think. Yeah.
During the second downhill, me and Blondine switched spots a couple of times, which I think was good. It was important for us to kind of see where each other were at going into the third climb, which it just felt like it kept getting hotter. And then we started going downhill, my legs started cramping. And I was like, oh my gosh, like if I pull out of the race here, I'm gonna be so upset. And so I slowed down a little bit, was breathing through my nose, and just told my cramps, I'm like, go away, go away. And they did, so maybe that worked.
As many people say, like running is the most simple sport in the world. But when you connect that with the race, then it gets way more complex. And all the decisions you make during the race can have like a huge impact of the result you will have at the finish line. Went towards this fence, and then was thinking, what if I just jump down this cliff? That at the moment seems like a very good idea. Someone told me that this cliff was like 3.5 meters. And I jumped down, and then I realized it was not a good idea, because I destroyed myself pretty bad. I was like have a quite swollen here on close to the butt here on the side. And then after that, like Francesco, he was then in front, and Thibaut catch up very early and passed me, and I start to be very dizzy.
Go to the other station. Yeah. You fall. Yeah, fall. Yeah. We have to finish. You want to? No. Only just 4 kilometers. Yeah, I have to finish.
Like 3.
4 or 5. Yeah. 4 kilometers. You want to eat something? Slowly, eh? Slowly, Stian. Yeah. It was a hard battle with Puppy. Yeah.
W tym momencie biegłem na około 5. pozycji. Kilka kilometrów przed metą wiedziałem, że Stian jest blisko, że mogę go złapać, ale myślałem tylko o tym, żeby dotrwać do mety. Jeśli chcę wygrać całą serię, na mecie muszę być przed Stianem.
With Bart gone, it then came down to Francesco versus Thibaut. Two people who no one thought would be there, both battling on the downhill, neither of their skills. And somehow, Francesco discovered a new runner. He attacked hard, he ran like he's never run in a race like this, and he pulled out the first win of the season for him. That not only got him double points, but got him second place overall. Incredible.
And Teivo Varanian coming in second place, the one who never gives up.
That's right, Pau.
400 meters before the finish, I saw Bart start to catch me up, and I was just sprinting as fast as I can. Maybe it looked like an easy jog. And I managed to finish maybe 10 seconds in front of him. And I heard now at the prize ceremony, I won the series by 3 points. So if Bart had catch me, then I will be second at the overall ranking. So that was a close one.
I had to learn to make my own strategy, and maybe this race describes what I've learned this year. It's not all about winning or being the best from the very beginning, but to choose your strategy that is the best for you, that suits you the best. And this time it was maybe letting them go at the very beginning when you know you can follow them, but knowing that it will allow you to to be faster in the overall. That it's what is important in a race at the end.
You know, something you probably didn't notice today? Team matrix. For me, theirs are the performance of the day and the team performance of the year. They're a tiny team with hardly any budget at all, focusing on young athletes from just one country. Think about Adidas and Nike and the money they have. They spend less on their season than Ronaldo spends having his chest waxed. But they started off slowly, they made sure they didn't overheat, and they picked people off throughout the day, and they've ended with 4 people in the top 10. That's incredible. And for the future, imagine what happens when the sponsors pay a bit more to them, because this is a team with talent hunger, and they're clearly thinking smart.
Quand j'ai passé la ligne d'arrivée, la première chose que j'ai pensé, c'est yes, je l'ai fait. Je suis première au classement général et en plus devant les hommes. Contente, ça fait quand même quelques années que je gagnais les courses de la Golden Trail Series, mais j'ai jamais pu gagner le classement général.
In the women's, the finish line just couldn't come soon enough. Ninka had to be taken away in a wheelchair. Sarah was being carried around the seats to make sure she wasn't going to collapse, and Iris ended up on a drip. But Maud was on a different level to anyone. She finished 7 minutes behind the men in 3rd overall. And think about that race. She had it wrapped up from the second hill. She didn't have to run hard, and Stin said to me afterwards, he'd never had a battle like that final hill, where they were attacking and attacking and attacking, and yet they were only 7 minutes ahead of Maud. I can't stress this enough. I've never seen a woman run as well as Maud today in any distance ever.
It was surreal. It was just like a very proud moment. Oh my God, I might start crying. Okay. I was just really proud of myself, and it was just bittersweet because it meant that it was over. But I did what I set out to do and more, and it was cool to have my family there and to see me accomplish this kind of obscure and audacious goal. It wasn't easy doing all this, and I'm just proud I bet on myself.
No, I have a lot of new scars. So I think at least 5 on my shoulder. Yeah, it's, you need to take something home from such a race.